stay with the FANG trade right now because who's this?
Katie Huberty. God, she's good.
What'd she do today?
She might have bumped up Apple just a little bit, wouldn't you say?
High.
Street high.
289.
Yep.
289. Morgan Stanley's Katie Huberty did just that today. Traded out another all-time high today.
Yep. And she talks about the Apple TV Plus. She's going into that whole world and how much that could mean for them going forward. Not anytime really immediately, Scott, but yes, part of 2020, but even get into 21 all the way up to 25. She's got a great vision, and this is very similar to the same vision she had long ago when we talked about services, when they were nothing. And now all of a sudden, they're 21% and growing, and they're taking a bigger and bigger piece of the pie with a lot better margins for Apple, so that's going to be something good. But then you bring up the wearables, which is also another 10% of what their revenues are as well. So when you look at what Apple's doing, and we talk about it all the time, it's the verticals. And this just plays right into the whole verticals idea, Scott, where the TV will add that much more. And you know what? They can spend the money. We know about the cash flows. One of the things that I thought was interesting, I've never looked at the stock in this particular way, but she talked about when you add the dividend with the buybacks, you're looking at an 8% yielder on Apple. That's a pretty big number when you look at what we're looking at now, and we talk about the 10-year, we talk about all these different bonds, all the rest of this stuff. That's something that's very significant, and they're going to continue to do that. They're going to continue to buy back, and eventually, I would guess they're going to continue to also raise up that dividend itself.
How about when they did that deal with Roku, Scott? Roku was on its backside, and it's slipped here and there since then, but that deal with Roku, basically distribution of Apple and its products through the Roku platform, this is going to be huge, I think. And I think it'll be actually very positive for both of these companies. That's what the stocks are telling me right now, both stocks. So I really like what they did there. Much like, well, I don't know exactly how much because it's not been expressed how much the Verizon deal with Disney will end up costing to give 12 months away to all these Verizon users. But I really like the Roku move a lot for Apple.
Have you been to the Fifth Avenue store yet? Because it's all about customer retention and it's about the service. I was in there yesterday afternoon, had to replace an iPad, sat there, looked at all the products. I'll buy that, I'll buy this. You're out of there in 30 minutes. Every product is offered. I looked at the watch. To me, that's what Apple is about. Its ability to retain its customer. I believe the retention rate is somewhere around 92%. Okay. Maybe you're not going to innovate if that's what Stephen Weiss thinks about the company. We all disagree with that.
Is he going to call in?
We may disagree with that. Okay, but I'll tell you what. While they're waiting to innovate, the rest of us will just sit there and we'll wait. We're not going to leave and go somewhere else. And I think that's the remarkable story about this company.
289 is not too.
That's a big number. Well, Gene, I will tell you this. Gene Munster, we talk about all the time.
It's not like she hasn't been cautious in the past. I mean, she hasn't,
right.
She hasn't nailed it the whole time.
No, but she's been pretty daggone good, and she's not jumped off the ship either, Scott. When she has shifted down her price target, she's brought it down very mildly. This is a pretty big jump from where she was to this 289 level.
Too optimistic or no?
I don't think so. No, I think so. Especially if you want to, people will eventually start pricing this company differently. And I know you've brought this up many times, Steph. A lot of people have talked about this when we're talking about Apple. Is it a hardware company or what is Apple? Where do you categorize Apple going forward? And I think that changes the dynamic a lot. That's why 289 is not that high.